welcome to, I don't know, fighting in the street, perhaps? Like a street fighter? Might be a good game. Somebody write that down. Well, today I have a random tier list idea that came to me in like 5 minutes before the stream started. How would a Touhou character go? How would a Touhou character handle a bar fight, a street fight? So interchangeable, but essentially when I say a bar fight, I'm talking about a spontaneous fight that happens in a location where the one or more of the participants may not all be all there in the head. So here's the rules. The scenario is going to be 1v1. We're going to look at it from both aggressor and defender standpoint. And no Danmaku allowed. Now this is the interesting part. So you can't just fire fuck off lasers. It's a bar fight, right? You can't just fire fuck off lasers. You gotta throw hands. But if you know, like Yakuza, you can use objects on you. You can use your surroundings. No magic. Abilities, maybe, possibly. We'll get into that. But you can use anything. So the location is the general location we're gonna go with is basically outside of a pub. So because that counts as both a bar fight and a street fight, kind of at the same time. All right. Okay. All right. Now that we've established the rules. We'll be back in a couple minutes when I get some more food in me. Yummy. Should have ate earlier. I did. You know what I did earlier? I watched Taken. Because I just felt like watching Taken. It was good. I've seen that movie before. Give me a sec. The sooner I finish my food, the sooner I can drink. That's all. Damn it. Bob watchers skip forever. Sorry, man. I got hungry. Alright, let's begin. Reimu. John Jacob Jinglehiner Schmidt. You're not gonna fucking believe this. Alright. Reimu goes in the Reimu goes in the armed and dangerous. So Reimu goes here. Reimu always carries her beat stick so she can hit somebody with it. She also carries her needles, so she has metal spikes. Reimu is naturally aggressive and quick to rely on violence. So if somebody picked a fight with Reimu, they'd be smacked up. And she has a weapon. She has a weapon and intent. Alright? If she was the aggressor, she would just start. She would tell you she was going to beat your ass, and then she would in fact beat your ass. So Reimu's up there. Reimu's up there. Now we have Marissa. Marissa's not as dangerous as Reimu. But she is armed. Kind of. Now, Marissa has some attacks. Like, think of the fighting games, for example. The fighting games are going to be something we can look at for a couple characters early on. But Reimu has, like, flash kicks. But Marissa's magic... Marissa's attacks... One sec. I'm choking. Give me a second. One sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Keep the music instrumental if you can, chat. Because, just, more convenient, I suppose. That's all. We can put the vocal stuff back on later. Oh. Alright. Alright, I'm back. Okay, so anyway. Reimu has at least one attack where she kicks you really hard. Marissa does have a butt, and she kind of punches, but for the most part, her basics, or her normals, are hitting you with a broom. Like, magic and a broom. So the broom is sturdy. It's a sturdy enough weapon. She definitely has it on her. However, she might also have random potions on her. Now, Marissa might have potions. Hold on. Gotta clean this stat up, apparently. Oh my god. Alright. I should have cleaned the queue before I started. Oh well, that's my bad. Whatever. What was I saying? Marissa's... Well, you know what? Maybe Marissa is armed and dangerous. Because she has... Never mind. Marissa's going in armed and dangerous because aside from her broom, she also might have random miscellaneous potions that are volatile and can explode. So even though she can't produce any Danmaku, that shit is still like a bomb in her pocket. And if you're like, if you're like pushing up on her, like, hey, I don't like your tone. And then she fucking, like, she's just reaching around. She, like, gets her hand in her pocket, and she pulls out one of her fucking potion bottles and whacks you over the head like a beer bottle or something. And she whacks you over the head, so the fucking... It's like getting hit by an explode, right? You just wham, and it's volatile, so it explodes instantly, and it's just, you're dead. I mean, they're designed for Danmaku, so you're not exactly dead, but it's not something you want to take to the dome. Right? Ill-advised. So, they're both armed and dangerous. However, Reimu is more dangerous for her intent, where Marissa is more dangerous for, like, the shit on her persons. That's right. Give me a second. You ever notice when you're hungry, it's hard to stop eating? Alright. Next. Purple Reimu. Purple Reimu. Thinking about it. I think could hurt because she's still Reimu. I don't think she's as violent as our Reimu, of course. I don't think she's as violent as our Reimu, but she could still hurt you because she is still Reimu. She is still Reimu at the end of the day. Who knows? I'll put her in there. Alright. Singyoku. New tier. Literally just some guy. Okay. Okay. Alright. You know what? That tier will be changed. I'm gonna put this guy in here because he is an adult male. He is an adult male who is not afraid of fighting. This guy could hurt you. He might be, he might be passive. He might only act in self-defense. He could hurt you, but he might also just, like, slightly incapacitate you. You know, oh, I'm gonna use my fingies and I'm gonna, like, move your fist away from me. No, yes, very unwise. But, but if you take too many swings, he's gonna hurt you. But he might let you go with a warning. Based on what? Based on nothing. Literally nothing. I have nothing to base this on. Nothing at all. Yummy. What about the other one? Well, considering the other one is the same character, potentially, nobody really knows. Singyoku is considered one, like, 3 different forms, right? Some people, like, it's 3 different forms, 3 different things that make up Singyoku, right? The dude, the chick, and the ball. Some people consider them all the same. I don't know. Are they individuals or they all share one will? Who knows? I don't know. But in this scenario, we'll just call them the same. Alright. Okay. Yugumagan. Dead Limao. I would highly advise against picking a fight with a bunch of eyeballs that can electrocute you. It's like Palpatine. Alright? What are you looking at? I am dead. Oops, I am dead. GG. Tough matchup. Okay. Mima. Mima's armed with a big scepter. Here's the thing. Okay, hear me out. So, Mima could definitely kill you. Everyone could kill you. But Mima can't use her magic. But given Mima's personality, she is dangerous, but I think she wouldn't, like, I don't think she would kill you unless the issue's really pushed, right? She would just fuck around with you, but if you do something and piss her off, then you get vaporized. So she is dangerous, and she is armed. Alright? Now, if she was the one challenging you to a fight, then yeah, you might be dead. But we're leaning more on the self-defense aspect, where you're like you, John, with no H, the false John, are picking a fight, and that's what we're looking at. All right, that's what we're looking at. What? What if what if their opponent was Kazuma Kiryu? I hear you asking. Kiryu doesn't fight women. So, invalid suggestion. Alright. Change this tier name. To what? I don't know. Change it to, Cornered rat bites cat. That's good. Good, I like that. There we go. What Ellie? Yeah, sure, why not? Ellie? I don't know. I'm making this up. This is 100% made up. By me, the streamer. Okay? What is the situation? Well, Ellie is from Makai, so she's probably a little scary. She uses magic, but it's not allowed here. She has a wand. I don't think she can hurt somebody with that. I think she might flail. That's about it. She might flail. But it's hard to say for sure, right? So in my opinion, she's just, you know, she wouldn't be very dangerous, but if pushed into the corner, she would fight. She might just start kicking and scratching and biting. Whatever she can, like, she's savvy. Alright, she's probably got nails, too. Kikuri. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Hikuri. You can't hurt her. You can't hurt her. She's a big moon. You lose without taking damage. There we go. Well, I guess if you punched her, you would take damage, but you know what I mean. You're gonna punch her, you're gonna break your knuckle. Like, you don't win that fight. She doesn't hit you, but you don't win that fight. It's like fighting a wall. Like, I don't beat the wall. Like, look at this. The wall wins, right? Even if I somehow get through the wall, at the end of the day, the wall wins, not me. Alright, my hand is now damaged beyond repair. And what about the wall? The wall doesn't give a fuck. The wall feels the same that it did before I punched a hole in it. Alright? I don't care. It's a wall. You lose. So much. Alright. Yeah, this tier list will always be starting with fucking Touhou 1. It's always a goddamn game figuring this one out, huh? But now I am fed. I am ready to stream. Alright. Let's do it. Sariel and Congrida. Well, I mean... assuming she is what I think she is... Sariel... yeah, I'd say that works. Alright. Give me 1 sec, chat. I'll be right back. 20 minutes in, we got through the first set of characters. Good shit. Good shit, streamer. Keep it up. Let me try. Hey, punk. Hey, punk. All right. Genji. Genji? It's a turtle, my guy. You punch the turtle, you punch his hard shell, you lose. You lose. That's it. You just lose. You ever see that gif from Pokemon with the Kingler beating the shit out of the cloister shell? You just can't. You can't do it. You can't do it. What are you flipping on his back? How are you gonna do that? How much do you think he weighs? You think you're gonna fucking... You think John Jackass over here is gonna have strong enough to flip a turtle on his back? Huh? Bro is delirious. He's just throwing hands. Rika? Uh-oh. Okay. Rika. Fleas. Easily. Poor. Bad matchup. She can build things, doesn't mean she has built things on her. Nope. If you're counting Evil Eye Sigma as a separate character, it means that Rika ain't there. It means that Rika is just a girl. So if you just start throwing hands with a girl, then she's probably gonna run away. That's a no fight. In other words, it's an easy matchup. Put me in, coach. Pop. Pop, pop, 1, 2. Give her one of these. Give her a bob and a weave. Congratulations, chat. You beat up an unarmed woman. Hell yeah. What's my award? What's my reward? Maida. Maida has a sword. Like, now, she's probably smart enough to not stab you, but she still has a sword. So, like, come on, dude. Consider your position here. You don't really think you're gonna beat her in a fight, no. But she might make a goof of you. But like, she is still holding a fucking sword. Asshole. Blah. Purple Marissa. Armed. Okay. So, Purple Marissa does have a broom thing. Well, she's got like a flower in Touhou too. But she's got a broom. But unlike regular Marissa, she's not packing a bunch of random potions. All of her magic is magic, right? She has to cast it. But our Marissa is walking around with a dynamite jacket, essentially. So purple Marissa is armed. Does that mean she's dangerous? Not necessarily. But we're putting armed over Couthard because Couthard is more or less like they're unarmed, or they are partially armed, but their constitution or personality would make them less aggressive. Marissa's definitely one who would, you know, she would not meekly retreat. If you're being a bozo, she will, you know, yeah, just like that. Donk. All right. And surprisingly, we have three characters in the you lose without taking damage tier. Evil Eye Sigma is the equivalent of starting a fight with a telephone pole. To be honest, most of these characters in this tier are like this. Most being 3 characters. Like if you crash into a telephone pole and you're like, "Watch where you going, fucker?" And then you throw a punch at it, it's like, yeah, you eat shit. Like that, like you're hitting something and it just feels nothing. And then you wake up tomorrow and you're like, "God, my fucking hand!" And you got like 2 broken fingers. You got 2 broken fingers because you're an idiot. Ellen. I don't think a cat counts as a weapon, but she would probably have the cat on her and the cat would probably defend her. So it's hard to say for sure. I think she would flee. But I think the cat would fight. So I think if pushed into the corner, the cat would attack. And that cat's probably pretty strong, alright? Like, that's a cat after all. Hit him with a little Meowth move. Kotohime. Kotohime. I don't know, Kotohime's a weirdo. She's a weirdo, but like, is she dangerous? Well, you know what? I'm gonna put her in here, and I'm gonna give you one very clear reason for it. Because her bomb in Touhou 3 is actually just a bomb. So, I don't know, maybe... I don't think they're magic. They might be magic. Maybe. But, that could also be a real fucking bomb. Alright? So, I wouldn't mess with it. I wouldn't mess with it. That's dangerous. She's packing a fucking cartoon Bomberman bomb, bro. No thanks. This is a good one. So, you know, depending on who you look at or who you talk to, Kana's armed with her sign, but that's Fanon, right? Maybe she would flee because, you know, she can be meek, maybe. But in actuality, the real answer is, ghosts don't get hit by fighting dumbass. So that goes right up here in the, well, I'd say it would go in this tier. It'd go in this tier, because she's not exactly fighting back. But you can't lay a finger on her because she's incorporeal, you fucking idiot. So if you throw a punch at her, it's better than punching a wall. Should Mima also go there? Mima... You could say Mima would go there, but this is assuming like that Mima also just sits there and lets you throw punches at her, right? Mima is still dangerous. Kana is not nearly as dangerous as Mima. So I wouldn't put her in the tier of just, oh, you can't hit me, I'm a ghost. Rikako. Okay. Another hard call. Let me explain. Alright. Rikako has a jetpack. That's pretty cool. And she likes science. So she might have a weapon. And even though she's supposedly really good at magic, magic's not allowed here. You can't use magic. Magic's cheating. So she could hurt you. She could hurt you. She might. She does have... I don't know. There's not enough information. So that's why it's in the wishy-washy could hurt tier. Chieri? Chieri is armed and dangerous. She has a little pocket pistol gun that fires like death beam laser, like the fucking Frieza movie. So she literally has a gun, so she's dangerous. Yumemi. Is Yumemi armed? She can punch. That's about it. I don't know if flee. I don't know if flee is the right answer. She might be... I'm gonna put her in flee. I'm gonna change this to de-escalates or retreats. So I'm gonna combo this. So basically, this is the tier. This is basically the tier for where the fight is just not gonna happen. The fight is not happening. They're not gonna fight. They're not gonna fight. They're either just gonna leave or they're gonna try to like calm you down. You can't calm me down, all right? I'm angry. Rah. All right. Okay. Rukoto. Okay. Okay. Now listen to me. Rukoto does have a broom, but that's not the part that matters here. The part that matters is that she is powered by nuclear energy. So, one, she might be made of metal to a point where you can't hurt her. Two, you might accidentally come in contact with nuclear waste, 3, I don't know what I was going with the third one, but she has a weapon. She is a robot, and there's a possibility of a nuclear waste interaction. So that's dangerous. Is she dangerous? Not inherently, but you might fuck yourself up by beating her up. So you don't lose without taking damage. Alright? But what about Multi? Isn't Multi in like a fighting game? What's it called? Aquapaza or something? There's a character, there's a game that is just basically a bunch of fucking like dating sim characters in a fighting game. And I remember it because I played the worst character in the game because I thought she was funny. I didn't know she was the worst character in the game. She had like a broom, and she was, well, apparently she was like, she was one of those characters that's so bad they get their own tier. Like, don't play this character. But I thought she was funny because she had a broom. I don't remember what the game was called, but it's like half of the roster was from the game Touhou. And I was like, what? Okay. So here's an interesting one. So Mimi-chan is a missile, but I'm pretty sure a dude punching a missile isn't going to activate it. Alright? Kingdom Hearts? No. No, I believe it was called Aqua something. Arcana Heart is the one where it's like, that has a bunch of characters. I think one of them is like a girl. There's like a girl and she's a grappler with a slime monster. And there's another girl who's like a child who fights with her chalk drawing. I think that's Arcana Heart. I don't remember. I don't know much about that series though. So yeah, I think if you punch I think if you punch a missile, nothing happens. It's you're fine. So you're just beating that up. Obviously, if you manage to fucking set it off, sure, but I don't think your fists are gonna set it off. I just don't. You don't have a gun, all right? You don't have a gun. Orange, armed. Is she dangerous? I don't know, but she's armed. Hold on, new tier. Armed and not dangerous. So these are characters that do have weapons. I'm gonna put you here. These are characters who do have weapons, but are not inherently dangerous due to just, I don't know, their strength or their personality. Well, actually, I guess it'd be better to put them down here, right? Because they still have a weapon. They still have a weapon. So yeah, they have a weapon, but they're not really gonna use it. These ones are only gonna fight back if pushed. These ones are 50-50 if they're gonna do anything. These ones have weapons. These ones have weapons and violent intent, or just very like strong weapons in general. Like a gun is a strong weapon. All right, and then the Biden blast. Goodbye. Don't fight this battle. And then ghost types. Inanimate objects, or in the Genji's case, a shell, and then pacifist, I suppose. Kurumi. I think Kurumi goes here. Kurumi is a vampire, and she has sharp nails and sharp teeth, so she could hurt you, but you would have to push her. Ellie is armed. Is she dangerous? I don't know. But she is armed. Now, Maida... hard to say for sure here. I think the thing is that if they're a gatekeeper, like in the case of Ellie, she's a gatekeeper, so she knows how to fight with restraint. Her goal is to keep people out and push them back, but not necessarily kill, right? Maida, on the other hand, could be more used to settling fights with a decisive blow. So I think that in the case of Ellie, even though her weapon is kind of more exposed, she's better at handling it in a non-lethal manner, as go her job. That's my opinion. Yuka. potentially. There's no guarantee. That's the problem here. Here's the problem. Yuka... Would Yuka just kill you for throwing a punch at her? You know what? Yeah, she will. Yeah, she will. If you started it, she's finishing it. Alright? You started, she's finishing it. So, you're definitely in here because you're not well. Your sister, however... hard to say. These aren't really characters. Here's my opinion. Ready? Insert your opinion now. My opinion is that Mugetsu is less likely to act violently, but she, you know, if you push the envelope, then goodbye. Gengetsu, on the other hand, is basically prototype Flandre to an extent, where she just kind of goes, you know, if you're like, hey, I'm gonna, like, what are you looking at? And then she just kind of like slices your throat, like, you know, just some characters don't really need an excuse to attack you. So when you walk up to them and you are clearly aggroing them, then they will just finish you like that. No talking. Sarah. So Sarah, I don't really know if she's a gatekeeper. She's not armed though. So she has to have some kind of ability, but I don't know how good she is or even what she does. I don't know. Sarah is a made-up character. Sarah is a made-up character. Luis goes in here. Luis goes in this tier because even though Luis is from Makai and she probably, like, but Makai, the strength of Makai comes from their magic, right? Makai is the region with the strong magic. So without magic here, Luis is kind of just like a person. So I think she, and when you consider how she was in Touhou 5, she didn't want to fight anyone, right? She was just going on vacation and everybody attacked her and she was like, we don't have to do this. Like, Luis is not violent by nature. She would not want to fight. She would remove herself from the situation either by talking you down or just leaving. Goodbye. Alice. Probably here. I was thinking Alice has all kinds of things. But Alice's strongest weapon is just like a book. But she's also small. Her dolls aren't very effective either. So I think this would be one of those situations where, first of all, why are you brawling with a child? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're throwing hands with a child. Come on, man. And that's when Shinky gets involved. Yuki. Yuki goes here because Yuki would Yuki's the type to, you know, she's the type to stand up and fight back when cornered, even if she can't really fight. That's the type she is. Mine has no magic. So if Mai can't use her magic, she's running. What happens here is like, go, like, run Mai, I'll take care of this. And Mai's like, okay, wee. And then Mai's just gone, alright? Mai's just gone. And Yuki's doing the brave, like, I'll take care of this. You go on ahead. And Mai's like, alright, see ya, bye. So, great character trait, of course. Very great character trait. Yumeko, armed and dangerous. Yumeko carries swords. She just has swords on her persons. And her attitude is pretty no-nonsense. So I think that she would not necessarily get a kick, but she has no qualms about putting things down. Shinky, on the other hand, I wouldn't mess with her. But I don't think Shinky is the type to really, you know... I think she'd be the type to try and just kind of stop it, right? She would just be the type to stop it. How? I don't know. But she's not inherently violent. Maybe. And if she is, it's because of all her magic. But magic is not allowed in this fictitious scenario. Rumia. Do teeth count as a weapon? Probably not. But Rumia would bite you. She might not be that tough, but she would definitely bite you. I don't think you'd have to corner her for her to fight back. I think she would just fight back. But she's not armed. Daiose. We're putting this over here. We're putting this over here. Daiose not fighting. She's not fighting. No, she's out of there. Scram, scatter, cheese it. Now Cherno, much like Rumia, like she's probably not very strong without her ice abilities. Although I guess whether or not you call that magic is debatable. But that's not gonna stop her from trying. Cherno ain't gonna not try. She's not armed necessarily. Although I guess if her wings are like solid ice, she could probably hurt you like that. She could probably hurt you like that. Did your hand freeze if you punched? No, because her body temperature is more like that of like a box fan. So being around her makes things colder. But you're not like, if you touch her, you don't freeze. It's not like Midas. It's not like that. Mailing. So Mailing definitely goes unarmed. But, like, here's why she's going unarmed. Because she's a martial artist. She is a martial artist. And if you are a strong enough martial artist, your body can be registered as a deadly weapon. So she is armed. Is she dangerous? No. She would know 300 different techniques to pacify you without causing much damage to the body. But she is armed because she herself is a registered weapon. It's pretty cool. Kwakuma. I think Kwakuma would probably try to be out of that. No magic, no real abilities, no weapons, no carry-on. So I think in her case she would just try to be out of that situation. Easy peasy. Patchouli. Patchouli is an interesting case here because her personality is definitely not the type to pull back. But because she has no magic here, she has no choice. She has one weapon, a book, that she needs to hit you with. I don't really count that as armed, even if it's a thick book. But it's still just a book. So I think in her case, she would just not deal with it. She would just pull away. Sakuya goes here, because she is armed. She is armed, but much like Mailing, she would not senselessly, cut you down. She wouldn't do that. She is armed, though. She has knives. She is dangerous. Well, no, I guess... You know what? I am going to put her up here. I'm going to put her up here with Yumiko, because she is armed. They are dangerous weapons, and... unless instructed, I suppose, she could cause some real damage, depending on the situation. She's a little less forgiving, I suppose. But obviously, if Remy's like, do it, then she's gonna do it, right? So she's gonna do it. All right, Remilia. Dead. Flandre, Omega dead. Omega dead. First of all, they're vampires, so they have crazy physical strength. And if you try to say their strength is based on magic, then you have to talk about Onis. Go ahead. Explain to me Onis. Huh? Because these are a type of Oni. These two are very dangerous. You pick a fight with them, they will probably just drop you. Flandre a little more so than Remilia. Remilia might leave you alive. Flandre might just pulp you. So they're both... I'm going to put them both in the dead Li Mao tier, though, because I think you're dead, Li Mao. Don't be picking a fight. Don't be picking a fight. If you throw a punch... Letty... Letty, I don't know, Letty doesn't really have magic here. I think she'd be more passive about it. I think she'd just try to pull away from the situation. No issue. Chen is a cat. Chen is a cat. Throw hands with a cat, cat's gonna throw hands with you. She has claws. I don't know if her claws count as armed. But she is a cat. She doesn't have a chainsaw, no. She is a cat, though. Now, Alice is armed. Alright? Alice is armed. And none of her dolls are controlled by magic. So this is an important distinction. All of the shit that her dolls do is not necessarily magic. I mean, it is, but it's not, but it is. And even if it is all magic, she does carry dolls with gunpowder in them. So she has explosive devices, much like Marissa. However, she is a lot less likely to use such dangerous things as Marissa is. So we're putting her one tier below because she is calm. She is calm. She is calm, unperturbed, unbothered. Lily just leaves. Lily exits stage right. Oh, fuck. Exit Hamlet. Ghost. Now, all of you go in the ghost tier because I need to justify its existence. But you all also are armed with various sized items. But you're all going in here to justify my my tier. Okay? Yomu. Easy. Yomu, much like Mei-Ling, for example, not necessarily a gatekeeper, but knows how to hold back. Well, actually, I'm putting her up here because she's a mean drunk. if Yomu was drunk too, she might hurt you. Wait a minute. Most characters can hold their alcohol, or at least rational enough in that state. Not Yomu. Yomu might hurt you by accident. Yuyuko. Now, Yuyuko goes in here. But streamer, she's in a fighting game. They hit her. Yeah, they do, don't they? But, like, Yuyuko can literally just, like, and you're dead. Like, that's her ability. Her ability is to just kill people. That's one of those abilities that is not really seen because, duh. But yes, Yuyuko's ability is she can just kill you. Cool ability, right? So she's going in the I'm a ghost, you can't hit me tier and leaves you alone. But you know, if she wanted to, she could just kill you. She could in fact just kill you. Ron is not armed. I mean, I guess she's armed with like magic paper. No, I think she would be down here. Now, if we're talking old Ron, maybe it'd be different. And Yukari is the same. Yukari is the same. Yukari may be partially armed with an umbrella, which isn't really much, but if you, like, there's just no way. Now, that said, she could also be in the tier of throw you in a hole and have you come out the other side. So, you know what? For the sake of nothing really, just because I want to, I'm going to put her in the deadly Mao tier because she can just, you know, you could throw a punch and she'll just put a gap in front of you and then you'll fall through it and then there you go. Well, actually, where the gap takes you is different. You know what? I'm going to put her down here instead. I'm going to put her in this tier. Because she'll just gap you somewhere else and the fight's over and you lose. You lose, but nothing even really happened. So that's, you're just going in there. You're going in that tier. Wriggle. Dead. Easily. Wriggle's ability to control bugs is not magic. I mean, it is magic, but it's not magic. It's not Danmaku. That's just what she can do. So she'll be like, you throw a punch at Wriggle, and she'll be like, I cast Fire Ant on your balls. And then Fire Ants crawl up your leg and bite your balls. So you have Fire Ant bites all over your balls. So maybe death would be preferable to that. Maybe death would be preferable to that. But, well, okay. I'm going to put her in armed and dangerous because she might not do that to you. She might not do that to you. But you know, the potential is there. That's all. She might not be able to take full advantage of it. Mistia's got really long nails. I think this would be this situation. I think Mistia's kind of a bird of prey. She's basically a bird of prey for humans, but her ability makes people night blind, so she would just make you blind, and then if you somehow like get through that or you continue to swing at her, then she will probably stab you with her big gross green nails. Yucky. Don't want that. Don't like that. Nuh-uh. But otherwise, I think you would probably just kind of stumble. So she could also be in the you lose without taking damage tier because you would just go into darkness and you'd never be able to find anything ever again. But that's fine. That's alright. Kane? Kane would not. Kane can. Kane can. This is an important distinction to make. She can. She can. But she wouldn't. But she can. But she wouldn't. Alright. Tay is an easy retreat. Tay is an easy, I'm out of there. Raisin is armed with a gun. However, her gun shoots magic bullets. So I don't really know if the gun, like, works. So she is armed. Is she dangerous? I choose to believe that she's trained in CQC. Alright? I choose to believe that Raisin is trained in CQC. So if you throw a punch at her, she could probably just, like, judo throw you and break your arm. And then that'd be the end of that. Because that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh no, my gun will only shoot normal bullets now. What will I do? Yeah, but her gun is a megaphone. Have you ever seen what her gun looks like? I don't think that gun loads normal bullets. Also, where are we getting normal bullets at? Chiari has a laser gun. That's kind of like magic. That's like science magic, I guess. But Raisin's gun is like a stupid fucking megaphone gun. Alright, nobody can defeat the M1911, alright? Even the greatest powerlifter in the world can't defeat my M1911. But if my M1911 is a megaphone, then we have a different problem. I can no longer load the appropriate 9mm shots into the gun, therefore it doesn't do anything. Strange, isn't it? Eren. Eren's interesting. So, here, Eren goes here. Here's the reason why Eren goes here, okay? Eren goes here because Eren would not cause trouble. Eren would not cause trouble in this type of situation because it would reflect poorly on her and Kaguya. So she would not do that. However, she is definitely in the tier where she would, you know, if there were no repercussions to her actions, then she has no qualms with just killing people. No qualms. No qualms. She has a bow, lol. Okay. That's great. Do you know what you need with a bow to make it dangerous? Go ahead. I'll give you a couple minutes to figure that out. Nom, nom, nom. Oh, my nose. My nose, it's burning. Kaguya. Is Kaguya armed? I don't know if Kaguya's armed. She carries the fucking jeweled branch, but that's magic bullshit, isn't it? It's all magic with her. Well, she's also immortal, so like... I don't know. Okay, I'm putting her here. I'm putting her here because she knows she's immortal. So she might just try and throw hands for the hell of it because it's funny. Because there's no like risk for her. Who's to say that Kaguya can't throw a punch, right? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Moko's the same. Moko is the same. Moko could hurt you. Moko would probably fight back to an extent of self-defense to incapacitate you. She's not armed. She can set you on fire, but she wouldn't. She would not just set you on fire, so you don't have to worry about getting combusted. But she could still hurt you. And you would never win this fight because she's immortal anyway, but she wouldn't. You know, Kaguya would just try and do it because it seems like it'd be something she would do for no real reason. Nope. Nope. That gets claimed. That got claimed last time. Ah. Alright. Aya. Aya. Aya is armed. With a pen, a fan, a notebook, and maybe a little bird fella. So she is armed. I put her down here, actually. I put her down here. She's armed, but, like, she's not actually going to take the fight. She's not taking the fight seriously. You're never going to hit her. It's never going to amount to anything. So she's not dangerous, per se, but, like... Yeah, don't worry about her. Medicine? Dead. 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 I punch medicine. Oh, well, now my hand has become decayed, full of poison. Poison directly into my blood. Oh, I have to lose the arm now. Great. Now I have one arm. Fantastic. Why? Because you punched medicine. Fucking idiot. Don't do that. Yuka, dead. Komachi. Armed. She knows how to swing that thing to hurt people. She was in a fighting game. She was in a fighting game. Alright. Okay. And Eiki goes here. So why does Eiki go here? Because I guess technically she's armed with her big shaku. But it's more emotional damage than physical damage here. Like, you wouldn't hit her, or you try to, and then she'd just reprimand you. And then you're drunk, and you're emotionally vulnerable, and she'd just tear into you about all your mistakes and misdeeds. and how it led to you doing this. And it's just like, man, stop. Stop, please. So yes, a different kind of hurt. No physical pain, but maybe, you know what? Maybe that's the kick in the ass you need. Maybe after that fateful encounter, you change your life for the better. You fix yourself up. You finally put that H in your name, and you become John proper, and then life becomes better for you. Everything comes up. Shizuha definitely goes in the could hurt tier because she can kick. You know what? I dare say that her kicking puts her in this tier because she kicks trees to make leaves fall. So she's got strong fucking legs. Because if you kick a tree and you're able to shake the damn tree with a kick to the degree that she can get leaves off the whole thing, she's got fucking, holy shit, dude. So that's a registered weapon in my book. Minariko, I put her in this tier. Or would I? She's not armed. She's got none of her supplies. Would she de-escalate? I don't think so. Maybe. She might just run. No, I'm going to put her here. I see. Okay. I just remembered. I just remembered. So Minariko, I think it was in Symposium. And it was mentioned by Akyu that when you invoke the wrath of Minariko, because she's a god, like she mentions in the report about invoking wrath, and she has a footnote where it's like, invoking her wrath just means that she goes into your field and then stomps around it. So she just goes Godzilla on your crops, just comes over and steps on on your yield. If you you know, like fucking Suiko is like, I cast big white snake of damnation, and Minariko just goes, I'm gonna step on your carrots, asshole. Fuck you. That's what she does. That's her response. Hina, dead. Okay. There's a possibility that you don't die when you fight Hina, but like if you get in close enough proximity to throw a punch at her, then you are just like enveloped in misfortune. And Hina's misfortune can be anything. Like you could throw a punch at Hina and then find yourself the star of a Final Destination movie. Like that's just how it goes. You may suffer a heart attack on the spot. You are literally putting your hand directly into all her misfortune. Now, what if she doesn't have any misfortune? Well, Hina always has misfortune. That's why people stay away from her. So you're dead. Nitori. So, Nitori is an interesting one because Nitori is obviously armed. She has her bag of tricks. She's got all kinds of attacks. But she also is a Kappa. Now, we're assuming we're playing Touhou 10. Assuming we're playing Touhou 10 here, she ain't fighting you. Nope. She ain't fighting a human. No, that's bad for business. That's bad for business. We don't do that, alright? Now, obviously, if you're fucking with her stall, that's different. But if you're just, like, harassing her outside a bar or something, and she's just getting out of there. She's out of there. But she's definitely armed. Definitely armed. Momiji, armed and dangerous. So, you could say that she's similar to the gatekeepers, because she is kind of a gatekeeper. But I think the Tengu are a little more prone to battle. That's all. That's pretty much the only reason. Mei Ling and Ellie are guarding, like, a building. But Momiji is guarding an entire area. And sometimes use of deadly force is authorized, depending on, like, there's like a layer to it, right? Where it's like, if you get through Mei Ling will come in and kick you out. But if you get past Momiji, then Momiji's not coming to kick you out anymore. She's coming to put you down. So that's where my brain's going for that one. Hmm. Sanai does not fight. Sanai is a good lass, and she will go, oh dear, and she would probably try to de-escalate before retreating. She's a good lass. I wonder if Kaneko counts as armed. I'd put her in armed. Now, she's not gonna try and, like, you know... What did I say? She's definitely dangerous. She is a god. Gods aren't passive, that's for sure. But she's not gonna, like, you know, she's not gonna Lee Mao you like these gals are. I wouldn't even call her dangerous per se, because she wouldn't actively with any, like, real intent attack. So I would put her more in the held back tier. That's that kind of thing. You on the other hand, I'm a little less sure about, because Kaneko is the face of it all. But, like, if you piss the frog off, then she activates Curse Snake, and Curse Snake comes over and goes all over you, and now you're cursed, and you'll wish you were dead. So, yeah, don't fuck with the frog. The snake one will be more level-headed about it. The frog will probably not be. Be careful. Now we have the Underworlders. Now, the Underworlders are interesting because they're more prone to violence than other ones anyway. I would put Kasume in this tier. And the reason for that is because the entirety of her species, the Surube Otoshi, is that she drops in her bucket onto people's heads and, like, kills them like that. So she is a dangerous weapon. Now, I'm not putting her in the dead Lee Mao tier, because if you just go up and take a swing at her, she's not just going to be able to magically kill you, but she could cause some serious damage because that bucket is sturdy and she's used to hitting people on the head with it. So I would put her there. Yam. That's a dead. I cast level 5 cancer. Oh no, I have acquired cancer. It's like Hina, but, like, not. Because Hina's misfortune will cause problems, but then Yamame can actually just go, like, disease go. Pew, like medicine. It's like medicine, but you don't even need to hit her to come in contact with that shit. And she can give you everything known to man. All of it. She can just give you all of it. Why? Because you fucking deserve it, asshole. Don't pick a fight with that one. Alright? Parsi? I don't think Parsi's armed. She might have a hammer and a nail with her on her persons. That's possible. But the hammer's pretty small. And the nail is, like, you know, it's used for nailing dolls. But she's definitely got aggressive. So she could probably hurt you. And I don't think she'd be the type to only fight back or push to it. I think she would fight back immediately. But I don't really know if she counts as being armed. Yugi. Why did you start this? It's going right at the top. That goes right at the top. Why did you start this? Now, you're not just gonna, like, you're not gonna just die because you picked a fight with an Oni. Alright? If you picked a drunken fight with an Oni, they're not necessarily just gonna kill you. But, like, what happens now is not going to be pleasant. You might die by the end of it, but you're going for a ride. This is like being a punk and going up to Kiryu. And Kiryu's like, well, I don't want to run, so brawler combo, brawler combo, brawler combo. Heat move, go! Where you fucking, like, grab their face and you pick them up and then you fucking kick them across the jaw and they fly across the street. A fight with an Oni is basically picking a fight with Kiryu. You're just gonna get absolutely manhandled, and your insurance will not cover this, and your hospital bills will be through the roof. You'll be permanently disfigured, and it'll be bad. Why did you do that? Why would you do that? You would be better off dead with how much pain and suffering is left for you in your life. And you know what the worst part is? Is that the Oni might get a kick out of it and then come find you to hang out. And now, here you are, broken, disfigured, crushed, trauma. And the Oni's like, hey, buddy, let's go drinking. Oh, congrats, you made a friend. What a great friend. A friend that turned you into goo, but a friend nonetheless. Great. Satori goes in the could hurt tier. Because while I think she would flee, she would also activate her hypnosis bullshit and cause you to be afflicted with emotional trauma. I don't like emotional trauma. Oren, armed and dangerous. Armed and dangerous. Always has her wheelbarrow on hand. Alright? And she's actively always looking for dead bodies. So, if you start a fight with her, you may have just met her quota. So, that's danger. That's danger. Be careful. Oku? Why did you start this? Why? Why? You can't put Oku in that tier. That tier is for Oni. Yeah, but Oku is like the embodiment of the sun. Imagine thinking you're tougher than the fucking sun. Why did you start this fight? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Koishi, armed and dangerous. Koishi has knives. She has a knife collection that she likes to carry around. However, what's dangerous about her is that she acts on impulse. So, she might stab you. She might not. She's definitely dangerous. Who knows? Oh, do you know? Why would anybody know? Nazrin? That's an easy one. She's gone. She's out of there. She's gone before I even realize what's happening. Kogasa, armed and not dangerous. That umbrella is not exactly a weapon, but it's a weapon. You can use it in Dead Rising, so it's a good enough weapon, I guess. Ichiden. Okay, Ichiden is interesting because of her followings, because of the Buddhism principles, I would say that she would not actively fight someone. She may have weapons if you count those rings. She is partially trained in hand-to-hand combat, but Unzan's more of an extension of the attack motion she does. But even then, I don't think she would actually fight, because I think that because of her affiliation with Myoden, she wouldn't do that. And the boring answer is to put all of the Myoden crew down there like that. Unzan's not a ghost, but he is a cloud. If you punch a cloud, nothing happens. That doesn't work, dumbass. Murasa is also a ghost. She's a phantom, but she is a ghost. Ergo, if you try to punch Murasa, it won't work, you dumbass. She is also armed, potentially dangerous. Showa's armed and not dangerous. She is clearly armed, unlike Ichiden. Showa's clearly armed, but she is not dangerous. She could be dangerous. Bishamoten is a god of war, after all. And once war kind of fell out of favor, he became a god of good fortune, which is why Showa's so popular. But even so, she is originally the avatar of a god of war. So, I wouldn't say she's dangerous because I don't think she would actively do anything to jeopardize her current position. But she is armed, at the very least. but I don't think she would fight back. I don't know. I don't know. Byakuren is not fighting back. Byakuren is not fighting back. Definitely not. That's an easy one. That's an easy one. Nue is definitely armed and dangerous. I mean, even just not counting her trident that she carries around, that fucking red wing, like those wings are dangerous weapons too. And she would fuck with your mental. She's very dangerous. Don't fight that creature. Kyoko's armed and dangerous. Why? Because there's a sword hidden in her broom, of course. No. The actual answer is because she has a really loud voice. So if she hits you with the broom and starts screaming at you, it may cause permanent hearing damage. And also it would attract a lot of attention, and then people would see that you are actively fighting this child, and then they will come and beat the shit out of you. So, yes. This is like, Kyoko is like hitting a button announcing, I am a jackass, come beat my ass. And that's what trying to fight Kyoko amounts to. She is a walking panic button. Great. I think you go here. Okay, I think Yoshika goes in the deadly Mao tier because Yoshika doesn't really think. Yoshika just acts, and if Yoshika's like orders are to defend herself, I suppose, then if you try to start a fight with her, then she's going to put you down. So yeah, there you go. It might also just turn you into a zombie for a little bit, in which case you are technically dead. You're not dead forever, but because you get turned to a Jiangxi alongside her, you die, right? So, counts. Counts, I guess. Sega? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Sega has a lot of whimsical tricks. She doesn't really have a weapon per se. She could hurt you if she can control, if she's got Yoshika there with her or whatever, but hard to say about her, honestly. She might just avoid the fight entirely. She's good at running away, but who knows? Maybe she could hurt you. I don't want her to hurt me. Don't hurt me, bro. Tojiko is a ghost who can shoot lightning. Futo is armed and legged. She has plates and a lighter. She's got a little Zippo on hand at all times. But she's not really one to, she's not really gonna fight people, She's not gonna attack people or anything like that. But she can defend herself, and she's got equipment on her. But I don't think she's gonna. I think you'll be okay. I think you'll be okay for the most part. It should be fine. Miko, I think, is probably the same, because it's not like they're pacifists. They're not pacifists, they're not like the Buddhists, but they will defend themselves. They're not gonna like fucking kill you, but they will. They are armed. They are armed. Miko's got a sword and a shaku. I don't really know what a shaku is, but yeah. Mamizo. I don't think Mamizo's armed. She kind of is. Kind of. A little bit, but not really. Could hurt. Probably. Would she just run away? I don't think you make it very far against her, though. She'd probably throw hands. Probably. Yeah, well. I don't know. I'm indecisive. I'm going to put her here. I'm going to put her here because I'm really not sure. There could be some problems, but she might also just beat a hasty retreat. Who knows? Wagasaki. Um. um. I don't know how you're getting in a 1v1 outside of a pub against Wagasaki. I have no idea how you're doing that. But she ain't really a fighter, so I don't think we're gonna worry about that. Bonky is armed. Now, her weapon her weapon is her head, but her other heads, are those magic? I don't know. She has enough attitude and posturism, that's a word, to fight. But I don't know if she's necessarily dangerous. That's all. Kagero. Well, I mean, if it's nighttime and the full moon's out, then... Okay, this is a scenario-based one. If the moon is right, then Kagero can hurt you, but I don't think Kagero is very aggressive in general. So, I'm going to put her in a dependency situation here. It depends. That's all. Ben is armed. Ben's funny because she does... I don't know if she'd use it as a weapon, but it is like chained to her arm, right? So she does have a weapon that she can swing like a mini flail. Is she dangerous? I don't know. She might not even use it, but that's not the point. The point here is that she's got it. Yatsuhashi is not armed. Yatsuhashi is not armed. Her object is not really in, like, on her persons. It's more of a whatever you call it kind of deal. I don't know. Seiya is armed and dangerous. There's no guarantee that she will kill you, but she does, however, have a backpack full of shit. Now, she's also more than likely going to, if she's gonna fight back for sure. She might even be the one throwing hands first. But she's got a lot of things. She's got a bomb, all right? She's got a bomb. She's got a hammer. She's got a camera, which she can take a picture of you when she beats your ass and then post it on social media. Fucking loser. Limao. So I don't think she'd kill you. I don't think she would really be able to kill you. Also, I don't think it would be as entertaining for her if she killed you. Like, similar with Nue, like, for some yokai, I think it's more so, like, subjecting people to turmoil. Subjecting people to turmoil is more fun for them. But there are other characters up top where they just have a blatant disregard for human life. And they have to, or they believe that setting an example is more important than individual fun. And Nue and Seiya are both like that, I think. Anyway. I think. Shimmy? Okay, Shimmy is armed and dangerous. 100%. I hate Shimmy. Why do I hate Shimmy? Because I hate Shimmy. Shimmy is like the size of an ant, but she carries a needle around. A needle that she can stab into you, and it can go everywhere, dude. Ooh, no thanks. You know what happened in the story of Isumboshi? That motherfucker fought the red Oni and the blue Oni, and he got swallowed, and then he dug himself out of the Oni's stomach. Just no thanks. No thanks, dude. Like, sure, a sword is scary because it's a big piece of metal, but like, a fucking little needle like that can go anywhere. It can hit me in all kinds of places. Ugh. I don't like that. I don't like needles. Really. I don't like needles. No siree. That reminds me of the time. This was like years ago, chat. I don't remember what one it was. It was like I think it was a tier list on how afraid I am of like characters. Right? And I put Shimmy up as very afraid. I am afraid of Shimmy. Why? Because she's got a little needle that she can stab you any which place. And I distinctly remember mentioning eyeballs. It's like, oh, Shimmy runs up to you and stabs you in the eye. Fucking great, right? And some motherfucker in the chat was like, I ain't afraid of needles. I'm a diabetic. I get needles all the time. They're not scary. Like, motherfucker, I'm talking about a needle in your eye. Your eye! I'm not talking about a needle in your fucking thigh or your arm. I'm talking about a needle in your eyeball. A needle in your toenail, between your toe and your toenail. A needle in places that make your skin crawl. And you're over there talking about fucking easy entry points into the bloodstream. Dumbass. How would you get up to you if you like she's 2 inches? Have you ever heard of the hit PlayStation game Shadow of the Colossus? If you have heard of the hit PlayStation game Shadow of the Colossus, then your question has an answer. One that I don't even need to give you an actual answer to. In fact, I answered your question with another question. And I have solved your question via my question. Thank you. You're welcome. See, I also submitted your thank you for you. So you didn't have to waste any more time doing that either. Anyway, Raiko has drums. That's about it. I don't know if drumsticks hurt. Maybe they do. If she broke them in half and stabbed you in the, okay, alright. Stop stabbing people, shit. Alright? Stop stabbing people. Satan. Satan has a mortar. And actually, the funny thing about Satan is that there was, she was a little scary when she was introduced because of the splatter. The splatter on her mortar was a red color. Ooh. So I'm putting her in the armed and dangerous tier. Ringo is not armed, but she's more of but she also, when she eats Dongo, she gets like stronger. So depending, I guess, on the pub's menu and how much she's eaten, she could hurt you maybe. I don't know. Oi, oi, oi. Doremi. Doremi. She's, I don't know if she counts as armed. With her repertoire of bullshit, that could be magic. But I don't think she's inherently dangerous. I don't think she'd be very dangerous. Doremi never struck me as dangerous. That's all. Sagume. This is a weird one. I don't know if does her tongue count as a dangerous weapon? I guess I'm just gonna go middle of the road because I'm not really sure. Like, Sagume wins because she just has to say something. She just has to say something and the course of your life is altered forever. Clown Piece is armed and dangerous. Easily. That is an easy one. For one, she carries around a torch. Two, if you look at it, you go insane. So, yeah. You're in danger. How danger? I don't know. Danger. Junko. Not armed. I think she would just leave. I don't know. I don't think she would care. I think she would just, like, if you threw a punch at her, she wouldn't even care. She'd just brush you off. It wouldn't even matter. Ain't using magic. Who knows? Hikatia, that's the strongest character in the Touhou universe. What are you doing? What are you doing? Imagine getting, like, imagine getting domed over the head with her headwear. Why did you start this? What are you doing? That's such a bad fucking idea, you stupid idiot. Is she that dangerous? I don't know, maybe it's her magic that makes her that strong. She wouldn't, I don't know, I don't know. You know what, I'm gonna move her down here. I'm gonna move her in the armed tier. Cause she's got the fucking celestial bodies, but they have to be kind of close to her, you know. Eternity. Well, Eternity has a secret. But she is a fairy. So I'm going to put her in here because if you push her to the brink, her secret power might activate. And if it activates, whoa, Nelly, who knows what that could be. Nemuno is armed and dangerous. Now the reason for that is because Yamamba are said to be pretty kill happy, I suppose. So, you know, and she also carries around a giant knife, so I would consider that armed and dangerous. I'd put her in dead if it was like confirmed that she is very likely to stab you, but I'm putting this more on a possible but not guaranteed. This is why I'm putting her there. On, you kicked my dog. Well, On is made of stone, and she's a dog, so she probably fights like a dog. So that would probably hurt. You would also probably hurt yourself if she was as hard as a stone. That's all. Narumi is also a stone. Wait, no, she's squishy now. She's not a stone anymore. I think Narumi is a de-escalator. Narumi is a de-escalator. She de-escalates. Mai and Satono, okay. Mai is armed with like sharp bamboo, but Satono is armed with like a branch. So I would put her not very dangerous, but I would acknowledge that Mai is armed with a better weapon. Not much better, but better. Okina. Welcome to the Yukari tier. This is the Yukari tier, where Madara Okina activates her special ability to teleport you somewhere else. Wait, that's Yukari. No. I mean, it is, but they both do similar things. Yukari has gaps and Okina has doors. The doors lead to the door dimension, but they also but who's to say there's no gap dimension, right? We just kind of assume gaps work like portals, A to B. But with Okina, it's like there's an intermittent area, right? You go through the door and you're in the back door land, and then you find another door and you leave. So you get sent to the back door dimension. I guess. I don't know. Eika. Now, this one is kind of relying on one aspect here. All right, this one's kind of, does she get to keep her rocks? Like, does she just have a stack of rocks with her at all times? If anything, you know what? Actually, I'm going to move her here because I'm going to assume that she can find rocks. She doesn't have rocks, but she can find them in a pinch. And when she finds them, she can pelt them at you. Not that she has a very strong arm, but she can still, it's still a rock. It's still gonna hurt. Alright? It's still gonna hurt. Urumi, I guess the baby counts as armed. I don't think that Urumi would attack you with her child, but that is like a brick, so that is a pretty aggressive weapon. I wouldn't say she's not dangerous. She is an Ushioni after all, but I don't know. Wait. Oh shit. I just noticed a total of 19 characters here. I was like, who the fuck is this? That's Nina. Nina Williams. Who the fuck is Nina Williams? I don't know. Some character from a game? Sounds like that. I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back. I need to get something before when the alcohol runs out. I'm gonna get, like, my head's gonna start to hurt or something. Nino. Anyway, we're not talking about Nina right now. We're talking about Kutaka. Kutaka has nothing really. I think she goes here. I think she goes here in this tier. Yashie, dead. Dead. Okay? Mayumi, armed. Potentially dangerous, but I think Mayumi only, like, she's not gonna fight unless ordered to, but she will defend herself. Keiki will turn you into clay. Well, maybe not. I would possibly, though. She has a bunch of sculpting knives on her. But it is entirely possible that she converts you into clay. She removes your soul from your body and then puts you in one of her creations. Cool. Cool, right? Sounds great. Saki, dead. Even just by accident. You pick a fight with her and she's finishing it. Because she's not holding back. You get kicked to the moon. Possibly. Cat. Well, don't fight a cat. Because cats are cats. Takane, definitely armed and dangerous. Now, I presented Nitori as meek, but Nitori has a big backpack full of goofy gadgets. But Takane looks like her bag is carrying something a little more What's the word? Decisive. Now, we do know that the Yamawara like to play airsoft in the mountains, so they're familiar with gun technology. So she might be packing heat in there, alright? I'm just saying. Even if she wasn't, that case is probably really sturdy, and you can use that as a weapon. Sanyo. Now, Sanyo easily goes here because smoke. The smoky. For some reason, I think she has a knife on her, but I think this is because of her look. Misamaru, who cares what Misamaru does? Tsukasa, it's Tsukasa. Oh, she's a de-escalator, all right. Oh, she's definitely a de-escalator. Cause she'll give you them sweet whispers, get you back in what you're doing and ruin your life. That's what they do. That's what they do. They ruin you. Megumu. Definitely armed. Possibly dangerous. I'd wager danger. I would wager danger. Poisonally. Just because she's higher up. She's more of a set example type. But she's not really guaranteed kill. But she could, but like also hitting somebody with a tripod is extremely fucking barbaric. Shimada. Shimada doesn't have time for this. Alright? We gotta talk business. Otherwise it doesn't matter. Momoyo's definitely armed and dangerous. She's carrying a shovel and a pickaxe. And she also likes fighting. So like, well, you know what? I think I'd put her in this tier. This is also a really bad stuff fight to start. She's got like actual weapons and she likes fighting. Like, what are you doing? She may not be an Oni, but like the Oni are punching you. She's hitting you with a shovel. You deserve it. Well, why would you start this fight? Also, just looking at her, why would you start this fight? If anything, I'd put Kongura up here too. Or fucking... Or like eyeballs, dude. Why did you start this fight? This chick is like 20 feet tall. Like, these are characters that are unassuming to an extent, but these characters are like, brother, like you're really doing this? Really? You take one look at this thing and you're like, you're gonna throw a punch at that? What are you, fucking stupid? No. Well, yes. Monkey. Monkey is armed. Like the monkey that she's based on. Enoko. Whoa. You know, Enoko would have a really cool super move where she punches you and then clamps down and then punches you again and it clamps down. So you're just stuck in her grasp, and then she activates like some kind of fucking like mouth beam attack or so. I don't know. Just like punch, grab arm, and then point blank energy wave. So it's just like, the pain. And then her fatality would be punching you in the face. And then it activates the trap and snaps your neck, and then there your head's gone now. And then it goes, Enoko win, fatality. Look at me, old Mortal Kombat streamer. What the fuck? Well, it's just Mortal Kombat, bro. Relax. It's just Mortal Kombat. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. Chiari, I don't want to say Chiari is going to Limao your dead, but fighting Chiari is the equivalent of picking a fight with the homeless guy by the dumpster because poorly dressed, smells like shit, and is carrying way too many needles with various biological dangers on them. Too many to count, even. So if you pick a fight with this one, your life could just be ruined forever. Oops, sorry. You accidentally touched a used needle. That's hepatitis. Forever. Sorry. Oh, you have AIDS. Yes, you have AIDS. You have AIDS. You have AIDS. Great. I now have AIDS. Thanks, Chiari. It was really worth punching you in the face. He saw me. Okay. So while you don't necessarily die, you do get dragged to hell. Which, I mean, come on. Like, you just get dragged to hell. Like, what else happens after that? Zanmu. Zanmu is definitely the type to not give a single shit if you died. And she could probably crush your skull because she's so cool and awesome and talented and everybody loves her. Ubami. I don't know, cause she is a Yamamba. She's not carrying a weapon, and she seems like she's more in a leadership role, so she's probably a little more civil. But she could still hurt you. Who knows? Shimi, I don't know. Does anybody know anything about Shimi? Does anybody care about Shimi? Maybe she could hurt. She's old. She's old. Old. Nariko. Mishigami. Hold on. Chirizura. Ubame Chirizuka. And Chimihoju. It's Nariko Mishigami. This is Yuiman Asami, right? Asama. Yuiman Asama. I don't know your name at all. Arya Iwanaga. Arya Iwanaga. And you're Nina Watari. I'll get them down eventually. It takes time. So, Nariko has a weapon. I'm gonna put her in the arm tier. She definitely has weapons. She's very silly. She's wearing an egg on her head. Yuiman has snakes. Well, apparently she used to be a hunter. I don't know if she's armed, but she's definitely capable of hurting you. Arya? I don't know. Maybe. I think Nina goes down here because she's just a clam. Her strength is illusion magic. Not really. I think I would put her down there. I wouldn't say for sure. Suika. So once again, you're going in the why would you start this tier? This is a bad idea. Bad idea written all over it. Bad. Iku. Okay, Iku can cast Lightning Bolt, sure. But I think she would only like actually do something if you pushed it. So that's all. I just leave that one. Tenshi is definitely armed and dangerous because she won't kill you, but she will beat you up because it's funny. Hiso Tensoku. Well, he's a balloon, chat, so yeah, you lose. You lose. Hitate is not armed like Aya is, but she would probably approach the situation the same, but she would have to go down here. Sunny, Luna, and Star. Run away. It's Sunny, Luna, and Star, not Luna, Star, Sunny. Why do they have it in that order? I don't know. This is the order. This is the important order. Kokoro. Dangerous? I don't know. But armed? Definitely. So it's pretty easy to forget. But Kokoro has a Naginata. Now, the thing is that Naginata might be manifested by magic. But she does have physical fans on her. But she does use a Naginata. Although it's pretty rare. In fact, her ultimate move, or I guess her last word, whatever, her ultimate move in Hopeless Masquerade is slashing the shit out of you with that. Because in Urban Legend and Limbo, it became the Hashaku. No, Hashaku's the tall one. The fuck is her Urban Legend called again? I don't remember. It's the one. It's the lady with the wide lips. But that became her super move. But yeah, and in 13.5, her super move was slashing the shit out of you with a Naginata. It was pretty cool. Sumireko, not armed. She has psychic powers. I think she would probably try and fight back if pushed. But I don't. Who knows? Jun? Ha 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 ha. Yes. Here comes Mr. Shakedown. Hey, you. Give me money. Money? Money. Give me money. Give me money, 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 money right now. She armed. She has a bag. She throws her Gucci bag. She's also got rings, which function as brass knuckles. And she's really not afraid of punching people, which is awesome. Shion, why did you start this? Shion is not armed. Oh, it's Brazil time. Shion is not armed. Shion is not inherently dangerous. But if you see Shion and you start a fight with her, what is wrong with you? Bro. What are you doing? Terrible decision. Don't start that fight. Yuma? Yuma is definitely armed and dangerous. She has a giant blunt weapon. Akyu. Well, if Fantasy Maiden Wars taught me anything, it's that her brush can do 1,000 billion damage under the right circumstances. Fortunately, this isn't one of those circumstances. She goes in the runaway tier. Watatsuki no Toyohime. I actually forgot her name there for a second. Armed and dangerous, armed and dangerous, armed and dangerous. Because the fan is a weapon, the sword is a weapon, and she has a gun. So, yeah. They're all considered armed and dangerous. Not necessarily going to kill you, but they could cause some serious damage. Kassen? Oh, she's armed, alright. Haha. But I think she would be more of a de-escalator. And, you know, maybe de-escalate could mean a little use of force, but who knows? Who knows? Renosuke? Oh, he's definitely armed. No. Okay. You remember that game I played? It was like Higurashi versus Touhou. And the Renosuke in that game, one of his supers was he pulled out a shotgun. So that's kind of crazy. But we're going to put him here because even, you know, he can't Danmaku, but he's still like 186 centimeters tall. So he could probably, like, you don't even need to be strong at that point. If you're that big, then you just have advantage regardless, right? Big, you can't, like weapons are better than not weapons, but then if you're, that's why we have weight classes. That's why we have weight classes in like fighting sports, because like you could both train the same amount, but if one dude is 6'4" and the other guy's 5'8", like no amount of training is gonna let the 5'4" guy have anything, because the 5'4" guy, like, he's not reaching, right? He's not reaching the other guy. He's just not. I guess if you could be taller than somebody if your weight is low enough, but I think the reason why they do it like that is because it does help make it so you fight opponents that are more accurate to your size, so it's a better fight and it's not a fucking curve stomp. Tokiko definitely goes in the pusher and she'll fight back tier. Kozuzu goes in the runaway tier. Fortune teller is honestly, I think he goes in this tier as well, because he doesn't want to fight anybody. He wants to go quietly retreat. And you go here, and you go here, and you go here. And I guess technically you're armed. You're definitely dangerous, though. You go here. Alright! There you go, we did it! Whoa! Round of applause! Clap, 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 clap. So, picking a fight with Touhou characters in the middle of the street, not very smart. Don't do that. We have our top tier. Our tier here is, like, why would you pick a fight with this? Eyeballs, giant women, like, giant women, women with mining gear, Suika, and then homeless chick. Now, Deadly Mao is like characters that would definitely Deadly Mao you, but maybe are a little more unassuming in their appearance. So you wouldn't, you know, in a drunken stupor, you might not realize who they are exactly. Yuka might be a little debatable on that, I guess, but for the most part, all these characters could probably, and more than likely, would just Lee Mao you. Goodbye. Click X, you're dead, idiot. Just don't pick fights with them. And we have armed and dangerous characters that have a weapon and not so much knowledge, but intent to use it for harm. All right, those are these characters. Although I guess some of them are conditional. Like Marissa's not really violent per se, but she may be carrying very dangerous equipment. And Yomu wouldn't be dangerous unless she was drunk, but given the setting is a pub, it's possible that she could be. Stuff like that. But other characters, they have weapons that are dangerous. They have personalities that would push the amount of self-defense. And some of them would probably just, you know, some of them are just a danger to themselves and others. That's all. There's a lot of them. Then we have Arm, which are characters who do have weapons, but they either have, you know, their personalities or experience or whatever. They're not going to use the weapons with the intent to harm. They're more to use the attempt to subdue. They're a lot more rational, but they still are holding, you know, they're still holding things that can hurt. Although I guess with Mai's case, I would put her under the, she's still kind of dangerous, but her weapon isn't that strong, I guess. Same with Rukoto. Could hurt. Otherwise known as the IDK tier. Characters that could probably hurt you if you try to fight them, but they might hold back, or they don't have a weapon, but they might not hurt. They might, who knows? There's a lot of indecisiveness going on in here. Satori, I think, and Eiki are kind of a neat exception to it, where it's more mental than physical. But yeah, it's pretty much an IDK tier. Cornered Rat is similar to an IDK tier, but it's more so the idea of characters who aren't inherently, like, cowards, but not, like, super aggressive. That when pushed, they will respond. That kind of thing. Armed and not dangerous are characters that carry weapons, but are not really dangerous for one reason or another. Orange, I believe it due to her weapon is a baton, and her personality is not meek per se, but not very. She doesn't really like engaging. Aya may have weapons, quote unquote, but she's not going to engage in a fight. An umbrella is not a very strong weapon. Show's weapons are decoration, and while they are still, they are still what they are, she would not use them lethally. Dorami's a fucking weirdo, and Sotono has that weapon doesn't do anything. The ghost type is unaffected by fighting type moves. Is that tier? You lose without taking damage is characters that if you tried to fight them, you would either just be hitting like an object or something that does not care, or in the case of Okina and Yukari, as soon as you try to start a fight, you would just be sent to somewhere very far away, and then that's if you're lucky. So they go there. And de-escalator retreats. I could have split these up, I guess, but I guess if one doesn't work, that leads to the other anyway. And these are the characters who aren't gonna fight back, either because they're unable to, their personalities prevent them from doing that, or they're pacifists that try to, for one reason or another, try to make resolve the situation instead of just getting out of it. Characters like Byakurin, a little bit of Eren, Kane, they're the de-escalators, right? Sanyo as well as a de-escalator. But most of the characters here are just they're more of a flight than fight breed. Shinki, you could call Shinki a de-escalator too. At least it makes more sense than a retreater, but yeah. So we got a lot of them in that tier. So what did we learn today, chat? We learned that you probably shouldn't start fights in the street with random women. That's one important lesson I think we've learned today. The second lesson is that even without magic at their disposal, there are a lot of characters that if you drunkenly threw a punch at them, the magic wouldn't matter. You would still probably find yourself on a hospital bed. So try not to do that, Please be mindful of your alcohol consumption. You don't want to start random fights. Alright? Thank you for watching. Hope you all had a great drink. And I'll see you out on the streets of Kamurocho tonight, because I need some cash for my next upgrade. Farewell.